What's up, guys? Today I'm going to talk about the guitar that I have modded the most and what I'm going to do to it to continue doing a few major changes coming up soon. This is a Fender Road Worn Telecaster, made in Mexico. I believe I got it in 2019, late 2019, and I bought it new, so I assume it is a 2019. But somewhere in that general area. It came pretty normal stock with Fender pickups and stock electronics, and I immediately changed everything when I first got it. I had been on the lookout for a Tele for a while at that point. I wanted to find something that was relatively low budget that I could then use as a project guitar at that time. So I was looking and playing a lot of different things in different shops, and I found this. I really liked the neck, and it resonated well. And I didn't love the pickups and kind of felt like the electronics sounded pretty meh. So I knew I was going to change that right out the gate. When I first got it back in 2019, did a couple mods to it. I changed the pickups for Novak Telecaster pickups. I changed all the electronics. I changed the bridge for a Mastery bridge. And the other mod that I did was I painted shielding paint in the whole guitar because it did not come shielded. So did that to try to help a little bit with some of the single coiliness. So here's neck pickup. So that's a really great sounding pickup. Here's the middle. Sounds like a Tele. And then the bridge. It sounds really good. I love this guitar. Why would I change things? I am actually about to get my custom Tele from Bluesman Vintage, which to me will satisfy the very Telecaster vintage Tele sounding things that I want to do. So I'm going to do some weird things to this guitar. And nothing permanent, so if I end up not liking it, I can always change it back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to install two palm benders here with a different bridge so I can have benders on the G and B string. And I'm going to swap the pickups for Gemini pickups. Makes a gold foil in the shape of a Tele pickup, kind of a Gaia tone gold foil, and a kind of lap steel type Telecaster pickup here that'll be a little weirder and a little hotter, and I'm going to use those for more slide things and see what I can get out of that. Probably also going to switch this little end plate for something a little bit easier to get angled cables into, but that's a real easy, simple change. I'm going to do all this myself. I feel pretty comfortable working on a Tele. It's real straightforward, so we'll go from there. It'll probably be a little while, so I'm filming this in mid-October. I don't know when all of the various things will come in and the Bluesman will be done. I'm not going to do anything to this until that one's done. Probably fast forward here to the next part. All right, welcome back. We have part 2 of this Tele change up a little bit. The pickups are going to be a few more weeks, so I had gotten the bender in and I'd gotten the electronics in, and I wanted to go ahead and do stuff to it. The bender and the control plate, come on, there we go. I did some tarnishing and relicing so they would match a little bit better to what the body is. I also did a little bit more damage to the body. Took a lot of inspiration from Zach over at Mythos and I did some etching to it, some heat gun, and then compressed air upside down to get the finish to check. And it's all pretty subtle. I scraped this up a little bit with a pick, more than it kind of already was. Stuff to add to it that made what was already there feel more realistic. That was always part of my issue aesthetically with this guitar, so I think it got it a little bit closer. And then the main feature is the bender. So I'm going to plug it in, and we'll hear, this is still the Novak pickups, but we'll hear what it sounds like with the bender, and the bridge is different, so I do think that is affecting the sound a fair amount. It's no longer the Mastery bridge, it's the Certano Bender bridge with brass saddles. Let's hear it. I'll just go through the pickups first, and then we'll mess with the bender a little bit. So neck pickup. Important note, I did make this a four-way switch. So it's neck, and then I'm probably going to get this wrong, and I'll annotate it if I did. Bridge and neck in parallel, and then bridge and neck in series, and then bridge. So, neck again. And then bridge and neck in parallel. Way hotter. And then normal middle position. And then bridge. So, the bender. Let's talk about that for a second. It is different, and it's kind of weird. I'm still getting used to it. I wouldn't say I'm great at it yet, but I'm going to play around for a minute. There will be some flubs. Give me some grace. It's weird and new, and I'd love to see all of you try it. Very different style of playing. It's pretty weird. I like it a lot, and it's kind of fun with slide. I'm not gonna make a fool of myself quite yet doing that on camera, but it's something that I'm going to have to spend a lot of time practicing, and I'm enjoying the process of that, and I'm enjoying a lot of the sounds I'm getting into with it. The next update will be the new pickups, so I'll switch those out. What I think I like about the changes, and maybe what I don't like about the changes, and what I'm going to do with these pickups, because I do really love them. So we'll see if they end up in something else down the line, or if I just put them in a drawer until another Tele body that I want to mess up comes along. Because these pickups and the Mastery bridge are so great. So I'm not just going to let those go to waste. I'm going to use them in something at some point. So see you probably in a few weeks. And we're back. The guitar is done. We have the pickups installed. Gemini pickups. There's a gold foil in neck, and then what he calls the Suprocaster in the bridge. You'll notice from the last part of the video the knobs colors changed. That's because I lost one of them on a gig, and when I went to order another set on Amazon, they were sold out. So these still look cool. I might try to grab another set of the cream ones at some point, but for now this works. I'm happy with it. Overall, I really like these new pickups. I think it completes kind of the weird vibe that this guitar has become, and I'm kind of into that. So I'll run you through some of the sounds. Again, we still got the four-way switch. Here's the neck pickup. Here's series. and bridge. So, it still sounds great. It's a very interesting sound. It's different than the old pickups were. I wouldn't say better or worse, just pretty different. I really like the way this sounds, especially this neck pickup. It's just a really interesting pseudo-stratty kind of sound. And in that third position, it's way hotter, but it's still pretty sick. One other thing that I did to this guitar that I don't think I've mentioned before is the Mythos variable tone cap in here. So I have it set to the middle position, which I'm not actually sure what that setting is, but it's what Zach recommended. And you'll hear it, it's more obvious with drive, but I'll do it clean first. This is the tone knob all the way up. If I bring it down, kind of sounds just like normal tone knob things. But if I add a pretty substantial amount of gain, so here's with more gain. If I roll it back, it's this really kind of honky, weird, cool sound. As you can see, I'm still getting used to the benders here. What I've been doing a lot of times is kind of planning ahead and knowing, all right, this song or this part, I'm going to be using the benders, so I'll leave them forward like normal. But then if I know I'm not going to use them, I just drag them back, and then they're out of my way completely. Play much more comfortably with a pick and do all my normal stuff. But they're there, and it's a cool thing, especially for tracking. I found myself using it a lot. Live, it's still pretty bold. I'm not that comfortable with it, so I've definitely eaten it a few times trying to go for something and just really bending a whole step when it should have been a half step, or kind of half going for something because I'm scared of it. But I'm going to keep trying it. I really like it, so I'm going to keep using it, and I'll just get more and more comfortable with it. So all of the sounds you heard at the beginning of the video were this guitar through my rig, and just trying to get as many kind of tonal variety things out of this as I could. I think modding guitars is a fun part of the journey and helps us find our sound on the instrument, but I've modded most of my guitars. This Sir Strat, I changed the pickups in. The pickups that came in it were cool, but they were a little too modern for me, so I put something that was way more vintage voiced, put some Novaks in it, and they've been in there for years. They're awesome. I actually did this really recently. I swapped the pickups in my Collings i35. I put throwbacks in it. I had swapped the pickups from the original Lawlers years ago, and then decided it was time to maybe try another upgrade and put throwbacks in, and they've been awesome. And this is by far my most expensive guitar. So I don't know how much you would count this as modding it per se, but this Bluesman Strat style guitar, it just wasn't quite getting me some of the sounds that I wanted it to, and wasn't really finding a unique place in my arsenal here. So I asked him to put a TV Jones in it, and that just really opened it up. The combination of the two and the different sounds really made it a more interesting and unique sound that I can reach for. So technically modded because it didn't come like that. So all of this to say, I highly encourage all of you to modify your guitars. Really play around with what makes it good for you and for the use case that you're using it for, and what makes you want to play it. if you have a guitar for a long time and don't play it, you could sell it and get a new one, or you could change one thing and breathe a whole new life into the guitar. So I'm always changing stuff and tinkering, but I think it's fun. So go modify your guitars. I'll see you in the next video.